Karikku or Tender Coconut is possibly Kerala's most successful YouTube channel. Today in this video, I'm going to talk a bit about their latest web series, Priyapettavan Piyush. This one directed by Goutham Soorya, starring Jeevan Stephen in the titular role of Piyush, and along with him comes Kiran as his buddy and close confidant Farooq. When it gets to Priyapettavan Piyush, there are a couple of things which are working really well. Let's talk about that. First and foremost, with each one web series or launch, Karikku continues to prove that their production quality is definitely elevating. When you watch this, you don't feel like you're watching a web series or a YouTube channel hosted video. This is more feeling like a true movie, whether it is the shot, the camera work, the sound quality, everything that you surround around as production quality, right? The look and feel of that final delivery via video is really elevated. Another factor which really empowers Priyappetavan and Piyush, similar like most of the other Karikku products, are the cast and their performance. The character that Jeevan plays, Piyush, is placed into a specific spot in his life which is very much entangled with the health of his mother and is pushed to a decision that is very difficult to execute. I'm not going to talk much about it, what that exactly is, possibly not to take away the surprise element for those of you who haven't watched it. But we'll talk about the plausibility and maybe the unbelievability of that particular situation, maybe in some of the negatives related to this series. But back to Jeevan's performance, we get to see the actor evolving and his ability to carry on more difficult or so-called not easy to execute kind of cinematic situations. Alongside Jeevan, there are two more who steals the show, one being Kiran as Farooq, Jeevan's loyal friend and confidant, who is all through the narrative standing alongside Jeevan in his crisis moment. The third person who leaves a strong mark in this series is not a regular player in the so-called Karikku, that being Antony. Annu delivers a convincing performance as the third friend in this equation of Farooq and Piyush, and she brings a gravitas and possibly a maturity of what life is in this trio. Now, with all these stated, honestly for me, Priyappetavan Piyush is not possibly one of those web series from Karikku which I can truly claim as have impressed me. And the core reason here being not the performance of the cast, not the production quality, these are all the highlight factors of this web series. The fundamental flow that I saw in the narrative is I couldn't connect myself with the narrative or the struggle of the protagonist, right, which is Piyush. So like we said, he's facing with the situation, and the decision he's forced to take comes across as something which is beyond one's conviction. And someone with a sane mind and maturity, including his mother, played by Maala Parvathy, would allow her son to take up something like this is beyond my wildest imaginations. And hence, irrespective of the splendid act by the cast or the top-notch production quality and all those peripheral factors, with the emotional core still not being able to connect with me, this is not a web series that I can claim as something that I thoroughly enjoyed. For those of you who might have liked it, please do let me know which facts about this web series were you convinced with and how did you connect with it. As a Karikku fan, I'm definitely excited that this team is exploring avenues outside of the classic so-called comedy template. But at the same time, without a convincing story, right, or an emotional core that will connect with their audience, all that effort can go in vain.